The United States Department of Justice's pet project, which they call the Kleptocracy Asset Recovery Initiative, is reeling in what may be their biggest catch ever. Weighing in at over $1 billion worth of assets and funds seized, the US government says that it is the largest single action brought about by the initiative. So it makes you wonder, what international scandal created something this big? I think even the 27 different princes of Nigeria who emailed me about some money I'm entitled to won't be able to top that. It turns out the answer is much closer to home, and it's with everyone's favorite state investment arm, One Malaysia Development Berhad. So here we're gonna break it down for you. First of all, what are the lawsuits about and who is the Kleptocracy Asset Recovery Initiative, or KARI? KARI was established 6 years ago in 2010 by the Attorney General in the United States, Eric Holder, to become an initiative that would be to combat large-scale foreign corruption and to recover public funds for their intended and proper use. The establishment has dedicated a team of prosecutors and FBI agents who work hard in tandem with other law enforcement agencies who trace through deeply layered money laundering operations, especially those that pass through the United States. Moving on, what are these lawsuits about? 12 court filings are seeking to have 17 pieces of property, ranging from a private jet to a painting by Vincent van Gogh, which have a total combined value of over $1 billion have been filed. The reason? These properties are believed to have been purchased with embezzled funds from 1MDB across 2009 to 2013. While it is a civil case, the plaintiff is named as the United States of America. There have been some individuals identified to be associated with the cases, namely Prime Minister Najib's stepson Riza Aziz, 3 1MDB officials, a Hollywood actor, and a Malaysian official 1. Now you may ask about why a civil suit, which brings us to our next question. Why a civil suit instead of a criminal one? Now hold your horses, this is only the beginning. A civil forfeiture suit allows the United States government to seize properties linked to criminal activities. See where we're going here? Once the US enforcement officers file a suit like this, it can be contested, but by default, if uncontested, the US government will take possession of the property by default. Remember, it's just a name for the process. It means there has to be proof that the said properties and proceeds seized have been linked to or are derived from criminal activities, including but not limited to money laundering. Of course, you can expect people to question this decision. If the option was available for them to take up a criminal suit instead, why did they insist on going civil? With Inspector General of Police Khalid Abu Bakar's recent statement that the police need not act on a civil case, the question comes to light again. When US Attorney General Loretta Lynch was asked this, she replied that this is what they do when the facts and the evidence come together. So now that this KARI is almost 6 years old, some may wonder how they have performed, which is what brings us to our next question. How have other KARI investigations ended before? The department has brought 25 cases against 20 officials as at the 16th of February this year, according to an article by the New York Times. Out of a sum of $1.5 billion that the department was seeking to freeze, they only managed to recover some $120 million. And this was from just one single case out of the 25 cases. A lot of the remainder of the money is still tied up in court proceedings. However, despite what looks like sluggish performance, the Department of Justice sees money tied up in courts as a victory in itself, because it is a way to put a limit on access to the funds, which will limit corrupt officials' ability to use their assets. If you have been paying attention, the Kleptocracy Asset Recovery Initiative is an effort to recover funds. Yes, recover. So what happens to the monies recovered? Most of which in our case is taxpayers' money. Thus, the United States has no business taking that away from us. Once again, looking back at previous cases, we see that the money was returned to the governments of the countries they came from. Now, before you jump up and say, hey, what if it returns to a country with a corrupt government? What's the point? Well, let me tell you this, the repatriations come with conditions. In cases involving the Kazakhstani government as well as the Equatorial Guinean government, the money was returned to charitable organizations in the country for the benefit of the people in the said country. So that's 5 things you should know about the recent action by the United States Department of Justice against 1MDB. Till next time, I'm Daniel Anthony. Thanks for watching KiniTV.